Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hi. We'll just wait for a few more minutes. Yeah, let's let some more students join. We'll start in 2-3 minutes. Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening. Good evening. Yeah, we're just waiting for a few more minutes. Let some more students join. Okay, hi everyone. How are you all doing?
Hello,
Good,
sir.
sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. So, how are you all doing? How is preparation for quiz 3, week 10? How is it going?
sir, everything was going fine, but this time it is little bit rigorous.
Okay, by rigorous you mean?
Uh, Last week I skipped 2 or 3 days, so this time, like I am running out of time.
Yeah. I think that's true for almost everyone. Diwali, I think
Yes,
Diwali,
sir.
many were in Diwali mode last week. Yeah.
It's very critical for working also. So
So, were most of you able to go through week 10 content?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I almost completed week 10 videos, but uh, yeah, it was good.
Okay, okay. Okay, so today is an open session. So what we can do is, yeah, open session for week 10. So if you have any doubts regarding week 10, you can ask at this time. Yeah, so what I'll do is you all one by one, you can unmute and speak out your doubt. I will note it down. Then let's see which are the common doubts which people have, and then we can start from there. Okay, I'll just share my screen.
Sir, week 9 graded assignment question.
Okay, week 9 graded assignment. Which question?
1 or 2, sir.
1 or 2? 1 and 2.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Question number 1 and 2, you have a difficulty.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, Sandeep. Yeah. Others?
Sir, week 10, activity 2, question number last.
Week 10 activity AQ. Question AQ. Which one?
2.
2. Okay.
Question, last question number. Last question.
Okay. Last question. Okay.
So graded assignment question number 8.
Question number 8. Okay. Oh, that's it, huh?
Week 10,
Okay, one by one. Ravikant, yeah.
sir, week 10 public and private fields. How the public is accessing the procedure,
Okay.
and how it is, how the values are updated. Means taking one example, what, how the by looking at which code we can know that it is accessing a private field or a public procedure.
Okay, got it.
Week 9 graded assignment question number 9.
Question number 9, huh?
Yes, sir. Question number 9, week 9 graded assignment.
Do others also have doubts in question number 8, question number 9? Okay. Yes, any other doubts?
Sir, week 10.
Yes, Sandeep, week 10.
7th activity question number 1.
Week 10. Okay, this is actually 10 point. Which one? 7. Sandeep,
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir.
which question?
Question number 1.
Okay.
Sir, graded assignment week 9 question number 4.
Okay, last call for any other doubts. Those who have joined, any other doubts? Okay. Okay, so let's start with week 9 graded assignment question number 1 and 2. Okay, who had doubts in this? Yeah, you can unmute. Yeah, I need to know what is the specific doubt. Otherwise, I'll move on to the next and then we can come back to this. Graded assignment. Okay, this one. No? Okay, so who had doubt regarding question 1 and 2?
Me, sir.
Yeah. So what is the specific doubt? Yeah, tell me.
Sir, I will ask after some time, sir.
Okay. Sure. No problem. Let's move on to question 4. Who has a doubt in question 4?
Sir, me, it's Ravi.
Yeah, hi Ravi. Question number 4. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then maybe I'll just go through the question. So the question is, so we have an auto grading system, right? So all of you have gone through this question. You know what is the context. So it is an auto grading system, and there is something like a role key, time key, and score key. You can see that's there, right? Role, time, score. Okay, now just looking at this, okay, this scores variable, what type of data set, what is its data type? Can you tell me?
Dictionary, sir.
Is it a dictionary? Look carefully.
Matrix.
List, sir.
So matrix, dictionary, list.
Dictionary into list.
Yes, Gyan Prakash. Yeah.
It
Yes,
is
sir.
a list
Dictionary in
with having
list.
dictionary as an element.
Sorry.
The list.
This is the sir,
So it's a list.
List,
Both
list, sir. But each element
list of
is a dictionary.
List of dictionaries.
Very good.
Dictionary.
Yes. So you first thing we notice is that it's not a it is not a simple data type, right? There is some nesting involved. So because of these square brackets, we realize it's a list, and it's not a normal list of normal elements, right? It's a list which contains dictionaries, right? So it is a list of dictionaries. Very good. Any doubt in that? Okay.
No, sir.
So in this list, in which each item of the list is a dictionary, what are the keys in this dictionary?
Sir, roll number, time.
Roll,
Roll,
time.
time, score.
Okay. Roll, time, and score. So most of you have read the question. So what it means is that roll refers to the roll number. Time refers to the time in which this person, this student, has submitted an assignment, right, for something. And score is the score which that person got for that submission, right? So we can see that roll number 12 has submitted once at 10:20, then at 20:40, and then at 23:50. The same thing for roll 20 is submitted at 11:23 and then at 23:53, and this goes. Okay, so we see that there is a procedure. Yeah, it's very short. Is present. It's taking this list L, which whatever list, scores list, and the roll number, a particular roll number. And as the name suggests, no, it is looking for if this role, whoever has this role, is it present in D role? Remember, it is taking the list and it's iterating through this list. It's looking at each element in the list. And as we said, each element in this list is a dictionary that is stored in D, right? So tell me, for the first iteration, what will D contain? Okay, what will D roll be equal to? The first iteration.
12.
12.
12. And anyone didn't understand why it's not 12? Why, how 12 came? Everyone understood, right? Because for each D in L means it will first iterate to the first item, which is this entire dictionary. And in that, we are looking for a particular key role. And the value for that is 12, right? So if that is equal to whatever value we passed into the procedure, so let's say we passed 20, right? So first it will check 12, that's not equal to, then it will not do anything. Okay, there is a closing curly braces which is being missing here. Okay, that's fine. Then it will take the next item, which is this. Then check the roll number 20. That 20 is equal to the parameter which we have passed 20, so it will return true. So in short, what is it doing? It is checking if a particular roll number is present in the scores list. That's it. Yeah, now this procedure get subs, right? Now again it is taking that list. Now when you just scan through it, no, you realize that okay, there is some recursion happening here because get subs is calling itself, and there is a base case. Remember, there are two things. There is an iterate in recursion procedures. There is a base case and there is a iteration or a inductive step story. Sorry, right? So what is the base case in this procedure?
The length is equal to 1 or less than it.
Very good. So when length is less than or equal to 1, it will return. So the procedure will terminate, right? Otherwise, it will keep on calling itself, right? So let's see what's happening here. Oops, sorry. Sorry. Okay. Now, intuitively, let's try to understand what's happening. No, so we see that there is an if condition and there is an else condition. Both are calling get subs again, right? But in the else condition, we see that it is taking the whatever this is first sub, and here it's not taking that. That's the only difference between this if and else, right? Okay. So and there is something called this first sub and rest sub. Acha, ye kya hai? So we see that first sub is nothing but first of L. Remember, L is, let's say, this thing. So it is taking the first element in this list, right? So what do you think first sub will be if this is the example?
Roll 12 time
12.
10, 20 and square t.
Is it only roll 12?
No, the first record actually.
All
Roll 12 time.
the first
Dictionary.
Yeah, exactly. So this first entry, the entire thing, right? Because that is the first element in the list. Any doubts with that?
No.
Okay,
No,
very
sir.
good. So we are in this one, right? Okay, so this is question 4. So yeah, so it is first, it is taking the first and rest sub is taking the rest. So this variable name also gives some hint, right? First sub is nothing but the first submission. Rest sub is nothing but rest of the submissions. Okay. So what are we checking? If is present, we pass rest of sub and first sub of role. Okay. So let's take this one, So what was first of sub in our case? It is role 12 time, that is 1020 score. Okay. What is rest of sub? Tell me, rest of sub, is it a dictionary or a list?
List of
List.
List only, except the first one.
Very good. Except the first one, the remaining, like, that's that 1, 2, 3, 4. The remaining 4 elements. Okay, I'm not writing everything. So the remaining 4 elements in the list. Okay. So now what is rest? What is getting? What are the parameters to is present? It is getting rest of sub, means it's taking this entire remaining 4 elements in the list. And we are taking first sub, which is this. That's a dictionary. From that dictionary, we are taking the value of the key role, right? So we're just passing 12. Okay. And remember what is present is doing? Is present is just checking in this list L, okay, if there is this roll number, correct? If it finds in any one of that, it will return true, right? So do you think now in this case, when this procedure is called for this list and value 12, what do you think it will return, true or false?
True. Because 12 is existing.
False.
Sorry?
It will return true because roll number
sir.
12 is existing in the third or fourth thing.
Okay. Someone said false. Any doubts why it will return true?
Because you are looking for 20, so roll number 20.
No,
Or
no,
is
I'm 12. I'm looking for 12.
Okay. If it is 12, then it is true.
And if it's 20?
20, it will
Still
be,
it's true.
if it is first of L, it will be true, sir.
Yeah. So first sub is the first element, which has roll number 12, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what it will do, the rest is this part, right?
Yes.
So it will keep on looking at each entry. The first entry where roll number is 12, it satisfies that condition. It won't check the remaining at all. It will immediately return true.
Okay.
Got it, no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So in this case, it will return true. Okay. Sorry, this is present will return true. And then in turn, that will call get subs rest of sub. Oh, okay. So it is calling get subs. Okay. Let's see. Get subs, we pass the, okay. Are we passing the same thing here? This and this are the same? Yeah, this is what we're passing, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm just writing a list with 5 elements. And this get subs calls a list with 4 elements. Are you getting it? Any doubts still here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. This is calling this. Okay. Yeah. So now remember our list is, it's one less. Now it's only these four, right? Then again this procedure, yeah. Then again this procedure goes back to the first, if the length, it checks if the length is less than or equal to 1. No, there are 4 elements, so it won't do anything.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, how you told that it will be, actually I didn't get one less than that.
Yeah. Because you understood how this condition is true, Ravi?
Yes, sir, I got.
Then we are actually calling return, and we are calling this function get subs. That you understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And in get subs, what is the parameter to get subs?
Rest sub. Okay. So it will. We have rest sub for element. That's why.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Is it clear? And which are those 4 elements? I'm not writing everything down, but it is the this one, roll 20, 12, 12, 20. Because the first we have removed it, no? Because rest sub is the rest, means the rest of the elements in the list. We are just checking that. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now remember that this has been temporarily suspended here.
After this rest of sub,
yeah,
and if condition, no? Can you please explain that from, it's cascading, it's confusing.
This one?
Yeah, it's starting from first sub role, which is in the rest, first sub role is 20, is it?
No, it is 12, right?
In the rest sub is rest.
Correct. In rest sub, the first, so remember, what does is present do? It takes a list of these scores entries and checks if this roll number is present in that list.
Yeah, here in this case we are checking for 20. Let's take that way.
No. Right now we are checking for 12. Let's stick to this example only, right?
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, you are checking for 12 in the rest.
Yes.
Okay. So that means it's becoming false. How to read that one? Coming from inside out. First sub.
See, first sub is
in the first sub of the rest, is it?
No, which line number do you have a doubt?
The third. Yeah, you're right. Just come down. One more. Yeah, that's the line. Yeah.
So you did you understand how it's becoming true or false?
That's what I'm really trying to understand. So by asking the clarification.
Yeah. So is present takes 2 parameters, rest of sub and first sub of roll. Okay.
Yeah. Now.
So what is rest sub? It is these
roll
remaining
20, roll 20 onwards. Yeah.
Roll 20 onwards. Yeah. Very good. And first sub, remember, is this. So first sub of roll is.
Oh, you are telling the first sub is the first one, not the first of the rest.
No, where is rest? We are just calling first sub, no? First of L. First sub is nothing but the first entry of the list.
It is coming after the statement rest sub is equal to rest L. It is just a declaration. Huh?
Rest sub is equal to the rest of L.
He's getting confused. He thinks that we are taking the first of the rest. That's why it's getting
No. We are taking rest of the list only, right? Not rest of first sub.
Jumping now, it's breaking. Yeah, first rest. Yeah.
See, what you have to do is just go line by line, right?
Okay.
So you understood.
Should I not read in conjunction with rest sub is equal to rest L, and it is the next line is in continuation to that one?
Yeah. So if you see what is first sub, First sub is
First
first
all,
of the
all the 5. First sub is roll 12.
first sub is this entire thing which I've highlighted.
Yeah,
Got it?
that's the roll 12. Yeah,
Roll 12 times score, all of it.
all of that. That's right. That's right. Now the
And
rest is the remaining 4.
remaining 4 as in this. Roll 20 time 11, 23, score 70.
Yeah, I'm getting confused on the next line only. When we are telling about the rest L, that should not be really read the first of the rest, or it is just the first of the first.
Don't think about first of the first and rest and all of that.
Oh, okay. No.
Rest is just
Sir, your
telling
voice is coming not clear.
mine.
There is a echo.
Okay,
Echoing, sir.
can everyone mute? Then maybe it might be better. Yeah, is it better now? No.
No, sir. No, sir.
Still echoing, sir.
Sir, I think Nitin's mic is open.
Yes, sir. Nitin, sir.
Okay, I think it's better now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he also asked the question, if we are not considering the rest, why are we listing out that line?
See, in short, what it means is we are dividing this list into 2 parts.
2 parts, okay.
The first part, which is only the first entry, and the second part is the remaining entries.
Right.
That's all. Nothing too complicated.
Yeah, there's no issues there until that
Okay.
classification. Now the
Now
confusion is coming on the third line only.
Yeah, so now we are just checking in the remaining submissions, right? In the remaining submissions, is this first sub ka roll number present or not? Is that clear? So
That
we
is where the question is. Now in the remaining, in the rest list.
Yes, in rest sub, okay.
Then the first one is not the roll 20.
Yeah, so so let's go to the procedure, okay? What is it saying? Now remember L in this case is the remaining 4 elements in the list.
Yes.
Is that clear? Okay, the same list. So it is this. And roll is 12, right? Now it will iterate through the remaining 4 elements. It will so in the first iteration, it will be in this line. It will take this entry. Next iteration will take roll 12. Third iteration, roll 12. And
second iteration itself, we got 12. So we should not go to the third line.
Exactly. So what will it return?
True.
True. Very good. So that means this part will return true.
For now, yes.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we are going line by line only. So you understood why it's returning true?
Yeah, but I'm still have my original question. Why are we really telling the rest and again we are telling the rest? Yeah, okay, I got it now. Right, let's go.
Okay, okay.
Sir, 1 second. This procedure is present L roll. This
Yeah.
L is there. We are dividing the list into 2 parts, sir. Are we dividing it there?
No. That L is nothing but rest of sub. Remember?
Okay. Yes.
Is present, whatever is rest of sub, that gets transferred to L.
L, okay.
Whatever is this first sub roll, that gets transferred to roll. Right?
Okay.
So we are, is present is actually the list with 4 elements, the last 4 elements.
Last 4 elements, okay.
And roll is 12.
Okay, okay. And the confusion, I think, was if the third line procedure, the second part, if is present rest sub, then you have first sub roll. I think that's where we were getting confused. Now that you have explained, yeah, we are able to understand.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so see, how should you try to parse these sentences is present is the function. Just look at what all are its parameters. It takes 2 parameters. This rest sub is nothing but this list.
Okay.
Okay, this looks very complicated. What is this first sub roll and all of that? Just we have written first sub, right?
Yes.
So the first sub is a dictionary. Look at the key role. What is its value?
12.
12. That gets passed as a parameter. So 12 gets passed as a parameter. Right?
So in the first iteration, sir, when we are doing it the first time, we are reading the first row.
Yes.
Okay. So we
Yeah.
have taken 12, return
Exactly.
get sub, rest sub.
Yes.
So then what will happen?
Yeah.
We will go to the next row, sir.
No.
Second.
Now again we'll start we are calling the procedure, right?
Okay.
With now what is the parameter to this procedure?
Is the
Rest sub. Rest sub is nothing but the rest of the list.
Okay.
That is why it is that list with the remaining 4 elements.
4 elements. Okay.
Okay. Now we start again. Now
But the second parameter is the value returned by the first sub, is it?
Where there is only where
No, here, if you go by the procedure, you require 2 parameters. One is the N and row.
No, that is for is present. We are not calling is present again. We are calling this same procedure again.
Is present only we are calling here. No, is present rest sub, first sub, row. There is present only we are calling, no?
Yeah, in the if condition, yes.
Yeah. So that is what the parameters connected to the is present is. The rest sub is the list what it is listed over there above.
Yes.
And the second parameter is the role, which is the one value we are getting it from the first sub.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Now I understand that. This is, I mean, it's not very explicit.
Right.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, now we are calling get subs again. Now it is not a list with 5 elements. It's a list with the remaining 4 elements, right? Till here it's clear. Now we again check the base condition. If its length is less than or equal to 1, no, we have a list with 4 elements. So we don't enter the if block. We come down. Now what do you think first sub is?
Roll 20, time 11, 23, score 70.
Correct. Okay. Everyone understood that? Any doubts with that?
No.
No, sir. No, sir.
Roll 20, 11, 23, score is 70. Okay. Now again, so rest of sub now is the list with the
3 elements.
3 elements, these last 3 elements, 12, 12, 20. Okay. Now we check again, if in this remaining 3 elements, okay, whether first sub kya hai? This
20.
And in that roll 20. So is 20, in short, now we know what is present does, right? So now we have to just check, okay, is 20 present in the remaining 3 elements as a roll number? So we see
Sir, in
12.
is present.
Yeah.
Sorry, that will be get is present when it that function is present is called. It will get transferred there, and it will check step by step, and it will go till the end. It will find in the end 20. Then it will return true, right?
Exactly. Very good.
Okay.
So here nothing will happen. Then it will iterate here again. Since it's 20 and this is 12, it won't match, right? So it won't go inside this if condition, but it is keeping on iterating. And now it will reach the last element in this rest sub, and it will check, okay, it's matching. So it will return true. Now, since it returns true, it will, what will it do? It will call the function get subs again. Now, can you tell me what are the parameters?
Get subs will get updated with 3 elements. Last 3.
Remaining 3 elements in the list.
Very good. Okay, so we are understanding the pattern. No, when you go through it once or twice, you realize, okay, this list is shrinking. till now we have always been in this if condition, right? Let's see if we can come, if under what conditions we are getting to the else. Okay. Now again, remember the now our list has shrunk to only the last 3 elements, right? And again we do first. Now can you tell me what is first sub?
Roll bar fill time 2040 score 90.
Everyone understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. What is rest sub?
Roll 12 and roll 10.
The last 2, right?
Remaining 2.
Okay. Now again we call is present. We go into this if condition is present. The remaining 2 elements are passed. And what is the second parameter?
If 12 is present in the last 2 elements.
Very good. Okay. So now tell me, is present will return true after how many iterations?
Just first iteration.
First iteration.
Very good. So it will take, there are only 2 elements in the list. The first iteration itself, it will match 12 with 12, it will return true. All right. So even now it's returning true. Now again, what are the parameters for get subs?
Remaining 2.
Let's do it. Remaining 2 elements. All right. Okay. Now again, length, is it less than or equal to 1? No, we have to. Then now what is first sub?
Roll
Roll
fail
12.
time 2350 score 95.
Okay, 2350 score 95. Rest is the remaining, the last element. Okay, I'll just write it as last element in this. Okay, so is present will be now the last element in the list compared with first sub of roll, which is 12. Okay, now tell me what will is present return?
False.
False.
Yes, sir.
Okay, why false?
Because we don't have anything to match 12, sir. Roll 12.
Right. So it is returning false. Okay. So it will iterate. So there's only one element. So it will check 12 and sorry, it will check this 12 and 20. And then it comes out of this for each and it returns false. Okay. So finally we are in this else condition. Let's see what is happening here. So we are again calling get, sorry, we are now returning first sub. We are putting first sub in a list. Okay, now what is this first sub? It is this. Okay. Then we are appending this with whatever this get subs is. Now what will the parameter of get subs be?
The last one, roll 20, time 2353, scores this time.
Very good. Okay. Which is, okay, I'll write it again. Okay, whatever is this, roll 20, time 23, 53, score 65. Okay. So are you all getting an intuitive idea of what is happening? That the intuition behind the code is, you have to understand. What do you think? Yeah, you all can tell me. By running it so many times.
Basically, we are taking the latest submission of each roll number, right? And then assigning that as the finalized value for the submissions of that roll number. So if we are running this code and we are kind of like, it is almost like removing duplicates, but in this case, we are taking the most relevant of the duplicates, right?
All right. Sorry, who was this? Sorry, I can't see your name.
Lee.
Lee. Okay. Hi, Lee. Okay. So, okay. Anyone else wants to comment?
Sir, from the question, I understood that it is the latest submission. But in this procedure, what we have written as a code, I could not get the continuity, like how we go from after we get it true, we go to the original thing procedure. When it returns false, we come to the else condition. That logic I'm not able to understand.
Okay. Anant, you want to say something?
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, I actually understood what this procedure is doing. So we have given a list of dictionaries. So this is doing, so it is taking a dictionary one by one, which is I think given in ascending order of time, and in taking the first value, and checking if the duplicate of this is present with respect to roll number.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what we were
And-
doing, no? Yeah,
sir,
wait. I'm
and
just
sir, if
pausing
they
you there. Yeah, yeah. Jayanti, were you able to understand this?
Yes, sir, that I could get it. That is the time factor. But
No, like why we were in which condition, sorry, in which case are we always entering the if condition?
no, sir, I would like more explanation on that.
Yeah, see, even in this, if you
sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt. Can I add in a one word to this one, sir?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I can't see your name. Who is this?
Asad, sir. Sorry, name is something is modified in my screen.
Asad. Okay, tell me.
Sir, the lady who's asking on this one, the continuity is present. Once we enter into the is present, if it is true, we are not doing anything, or we are not updating with the element. We are just going again sequentially, again doing recursion on this one. We are abandoning that element and continuing from there only. So there is that is what I have understood what the lady was asking.
Yeah,
So we can almost say that this is kind of like how the graded assignments work for us.
Okay.
I understood that logic because that is how we submit our assignments, and whatever we submit the last, and that is the score that is required.
Right.
I knew what was the output, but how the code has been written. I mean, I just guessed it, but I wasn't sure whether that is the right thing. What I've understood.
Right. But now are you understanding when we went step by step?
Yes, sir. I think I will go through this again, and I'll be able to understand. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So in this, sorry.
Yeah, sure.
In this thing, another issue that we have is the elements over here, right, are kind of ordered in the ascending order on the basis of time, right?
Yes.
But if it had not been ordered in that, it would simply mean the last entry.
Yeah.
Right. So since this list is ordered in the ascending order of time, we can, I think, bring that conclusion that we are taking the latest of that. Right. Else we might have to sort that value or something.
Exactly. Yes. Right. So what is happening is, to summarize what you all have said, what we are doing is we are just simply, if we are iterating through the scores list, and we are dividing it into two parts, right? That is what these two lines are doing. First sub and the first submission and the rest of the submissions. Then what we are checking is if this first submission's roll number is present in the rest of the submissions. So what does that mean? That means that this guy who has this entry which we have, we are checking if he has submitted again later on, right?
Okay, sir.
Right. That is intuitively what is happening. So many a times, we go very deep into this code line by line, we try to execute, but then we we fail to understand the intuitive idea behind the code, right? So try to, so when you try go through this in you go step by step for some iterations, then you should pause and reflect and see, okay, what is happening here? Till now I was always in the if condition, I did not go to the else at all. So why was that? Then you get some idea, okay, that's because in my list, in the remaining submissions, this first person's entry was already there, so that's why I never went. But here, when I have a list with only 2 elements, which is roll 12 and roll 20, I realize that this is the, after this roll 12 is not there at all, right? So then I add that, right, to my list, and then I call get subs with only 1 entry, whatever that is.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Right? Yeah. So you'll have to keep doing this for some iterations, and then you will have to pause. Okay, just look at the big picture of what is happening in this code, and then you'll get an idea. Right? Okay, now
Yes,
fine.
okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So
Sir, after that step, it will be that get sub will reduce to 1. It will again go. Will it get executed again? Because rest sub, I think it will be undefined.
Okay, let's see that. Okay, so now we returned first sub, which is our this entry. Then we add another entry, but that it's a procedure get subs, which just takes the rest of sub, as we said, is just the last entry now, right? Last element in the list. Okay, so let's call this get subs and see what's happening. Okay, so get subs, it contains 1 element, right? Now you see that it is satisfying this condition. Length of L is less than or equal to 1. Is it true?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is true.
Yes. Okay. So in a way it makes sense. No, like if there's only 1 entry, we know that there's no other entries to compare. So why we need to go to is present and all of that? We can directly just return that, because we know that will be the last entry of that roll number, whichever that is, right? So this will simply, this procedure call will simply return L, whatever L was. And we know that L has only 1 element.
And that will be added in that plus after first sub,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. This will return this list. Okay, I'll just write it. So in a way, now we are calling get subs, and get subs of this will simply return this thing, right? And this is actually now we are rolling back. Now we are going back and replacing this with the actual value, which is, sorry, this is a list. Sorry, this is a list. So finally, yeah, so then what happens is, then we have got something. So this goes back to this get subs list with remaining 2 elements, but we realize that there's nothing else, right? So this terminates, then this terminates, then this terminates, and this terminates. So finally we get a list with these 2 elements. Okay. So if you notice, what are these 2 elements with roll number 12 time 2350, which is the last entry of roll number 12. Since it's sorted according to time, we realize that it is the last submission of roll number 12, and roll number 20 also we realize that it's the last submission of roll number 20. So submissions in a way is intuitively, it is getting the last submission of different roll numbers. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir. So just one clarification. Now we have this procedure, everything.
Yeah.
But do we require that previous code is present? What purpose does it serve? Because in this procedure itself, this code itself, it gives all that is required. What is the purpose? It gives the previous one. If you scroll up.
This one.
Yeah. So this only shows whether there is a repetition.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Right.
Yeah. So based on that, we are adding this list, the element of the list, right? So assume that if this else part wasn't there at all, just return get subs. Okay.
Okay.
That's an interesting question. Okay. Now I've changed this code. This if and else is not there. Okay. It's simply return get subs rest of sub. What do you think the output will be?
I think we won't have any value in memory. It will get executed and I think when it's empty, it will end.
It will return the last element.
It will?
Yeah. It will return the last when length equals to 1. That the last.
So just give the last, that is roll number 20, time
Yes.
2353, score 65, sir.
Very good. So you're understanding, Jayanti, why that is present is required?
Yes, sir, got it, sir.
Yeah. So we need to check whether we don't want just the last element, right? We want for each roll number, we want the last entry.
Last submission.
Yeah, last submission entry. Okay. So I hope this question is clear. Ravi had asked. Ravi, you had asked. You had a doubt, no? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understood the code. The fourth question, sir.
Okay. What is the fourth? Okay. So now the fourth question is saying, assume that reverse is a procedure that reverses a list. Okay. So it reverses a list. Which of the following statements returns the list of the first submissions made by the student sorted in ascending order of time? Okay. Okay. So let's look at the option. So we understood the question, right? So if we just call get subs, which is this this procedure, we know that get subs returns the submissions list of the last submissions, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So get subs returns the last submissions, but we don't want that. We want the first submissions. Okay. And since the question talks about this reverse, we know that reverse should come somewhere, right? Because we want the first. Okay. So let's try the option. So option number 1 is ruled out because this gives the last. Now let's look at get sub scores. Right. Let's look at second option. Get sub scores we know returns the last submissions made by the student. Okay. But if we just reverse that, it doesn't make sense. No, for example, if this is there, we reverse this. Instead of roll number 12 here, it will be roll number 20. But it is still the last submission, right? We are not getting the first submission. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It will
So
be in the descending order of the time.
It will be in the descending order of time. Yes. So then we understood one thing. Okay. We need to, whatever this is, we need to call reverse on this course itself. right? So let's see, when we do reverse of scores, what will happen? Reverse of scores will, what does reverse do? It just reverses the list. Whatever is last will come first, second last will be second, and so on. Okay. So, okay. So what will reverse of scores be? It will be, what is the first entry?
Roll
Roll
20.
20 time 2353 score 65.
2353 score 65. Okay. Next entry.
Entry with roll 12 times 10 2350 score 95.
Next is roll 12 20 40 490 70. Okay, time and all I'm not changing, no? I'm just doing quickly. 80. Okay, this much is understood. Okay. Now reverse of scores is doing this. Now let's see. Now we have narrowed it down to these two, right? We know that reverse we'll have to do it. Only then will be. No, I have to change time. Sorry, otherwise you'll get confused. Eleven 23 10 20. Okay. Now recall our what was that? Get subs, right? So in this case, if we do get subs, reverse of scores, what will it be?
It will be roll 20 time 1123 score 70 as first element, and the second element will be roll 12 time 1020 score 80.
Anyone has any doubts on how we got this? Very good, Ravi. Right, so it'll that get subs, we know, just it goes through the procedure. Sorry, it goes through the entries of the list, picks out the last. I mean the last entry of a particular roll number, right? So it will pick out this and this.
So that's the correct, I think, because we want that will be the first summation.
Okay. So this will be the, yeah. So this is the first submission, but they are asking something else, kya?
Ascending order of time.
Ascending order of time.
Yeah. So that
It's
is
descending.
Yeah. So that is another point, no, Ravi? This is actually not in ascending order of time.
Oh.
So
Okay.
then that's why we need to call reverse again to reverse this so that it will be in ascending order of time.
Okay, sir. I made mistake there only. Okay, I got, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Others also understood, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yeah. So what are some, yeah, maybe some of you can share. What are your takeaways from going through this code? What did you understand? Not like I understood the problem, something about reading code or something about reading recursive code. Some highlights, some takeaway.
We learned the use of reverse in a function, use of reverse.
Yeah, no, that is understood. No, I'm talking about something little more about reading code.
about
make
recursive code, that is, we simplify a bigger problem into, we make it smaller and solve the minutest one, and then from there we solve the bigger problem.
Yes, good. That is what recursion is. Okay, very nice.
it is, I don't know if this is proper. Like I kind of see it like a stretched out spring thing. Like that is the thing that came to my mind when I thought of it for the first time. Like each, when you kind of like elongate each coil and then release, somewhat like that. Like you're holding each position. So basically, this is like if you have a loop, you have kind of dissected the loop and spread it out all over the place so that the last operation will be the operation that kind of starts off that kind of chain reaction kind of thing.
Yeah, good. Okay. Yeah, in later courses also you will see, a lot of algorithms which uses recursion to solve these things quickly. Okay, good. Okay, so let's
Can I
move
add
on.
a point?
Yeah, sure, Ayush, tell me.
Sir, I think recursion is best for tree traversal also, because we can find the last node of every branch through recursion.
All right. Yes, that's true. That's what we did, no, in DFS and all of that. Good, Ayush. Yes.
So here also it is the same thing. We are finding the last roll number in the list of dictionaries.
Right. Yes. All right. This is done. Let's move to question 8. Who had a doubt in question 8?
To me,
Sorry, who is this?
Shabnam, sir.
Shabnam. Okay. Let's see. Question 8 is, where is question 8? Okay, what is the specific doubt?
So by looking at the graph, I know the answer. I can find out the answer, but I'm not getting it by matrix. So my matrix is correct. Like I stuck at like we have to find out sequence of nodes in a list,
Right.
and I'm stuck after inserting node 3.
You're
So
stuck.
I want.
Okay.
No, I know I have to backtrack to node 2, but I want to actually know that how to do it in a matrix with the help of matrix in a pseudocode.
Okay. Good. Okay. So, yeah.
Like
So
I check for each column for node 3.
Right.
So the whole column is blank. So we have to backtrack to node 2. But in graph, like I'm coming out of the loop. I think I'm doing some mistake during recursive statements.
All right. Let's see what is the recursive calls for this. No, maybe that will help you understand. Okay. So this is a DFS procedure, right? This is a graph which is given, right? And it takes graph is a matrix, right? Parents is a dictionary, sequence is a list, right? And I think we are calling we are starting from 0, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see what are all these. Okay, so we know P, initially it was a empty dictionary, but then we initialize 0 to -1. Okay, and S is also an empty list. Okay, now we are calling DFS.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
till here
Yes,
it's clear for everyone? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so DFS now is getting called with A, P, S and 0. A is nothing but the adjacency matrix, huh?
Yes,
That is
sir.
clear, no? Yeah, and if you see, we won't be changing A anywhere. It is, yeah. Okay, take this to the next. Okay, so we are calling DFS So we won't be changing the graph. Now parents is, okay, call this as parents only. Parents, this is sequence. Yeah, parents, okay, parents, sequence. Oh, now what is I?
0.
We have taken I as 0. Okay. 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 We have called our first DFS, this first. So sequence is equal to sequence plus I. So whatever is there in sequence, this I gets appended to it. So this will be
0.
very nice. Okay. Now for each J in columns of graph. So our graph is this. Okay, let me rename this as graph. Right. So this is an adjacency matrix, right? Right. Okay. So we are iterating through each column, and we are just checking if ij may equal to 1 means if there is an edge, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Along with that, we are also checking, and if it is not a key, okay. So
The node is present.
yeah. Yeah, Shabnam, tell me.
Yes, sir. That node is present or not in the dictionary, parents dictionary.
Very good. So we check if that node is present in the dictionary or not, right? So remember, this is our parents, and so we, in short, what are we looking for? If so remember, I is constant, right? So
Yes,
I
sir.
will always be 0. So
Yes, sir.
from I we are looking, so if we look at the graph, from I we are looking at 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes,
Which
sir.
of the edges are there, right?
Yes, sir.
So now
We have 1 and
so we have 1 and 3, correct?
yes,
So
yes,
now
yes,
we
sir.
will
To 1.
let's move to 1. So this is true, correct?
Yes, sir.
And is J, remember, is 1 now. So is J present in this parents dictionary? J is what? 1.
Yes,
Is
sir.
1 present as a key in the
No, sir.
parents
No.
dictionary? No.
No.
So then we enter the if condition, enter the
Yes,
if
sir.
block. Is that clear for everyone how we entered the if block?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sir, that J is present. I didn't get that.
Okay. So when will graph ij be equal to 1?
There will be a node
When they are connected.
When they are connected. Is that clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we should not only check if they are connected, but there's an additional condition. This is like this parents is kind of saying that have we visited that node earlier? Okay, we'll come to know about that. Huh? So in a way, what we are saying, okay, this new node which you think might be of interest to you, in this case, let's say it's 1.
Yes, sir.
Have we visited it before, or is it there in the parents dictionary? Is it a key? Sorry, is it a key in the parents dictionary?
Dictionary.
Okay, Ravi. So what is this saying?
And parent is the node which are the list of or whatever the visited one, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So initially we had initialized parents, or p to p's 0th key to -1, which means this is the first node. 0 is the first node which we have visited. It denotes 0's parent is -1. That's what it means. Okay. So parent is -1 means there is no node.
No. Yes, sir.
No,
The 0
no.
is starting node.
Yeah. So that denotes that 0 is a starting node. Ravi, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we are checking if it is already a key, then we need not go inside because we have already visited it. Right? Since it's not a key, now I am saying, okay, parents of J, okay, J remember now is 1. So I am updating my parents dictionary with key 1 and I'm assigning it
Value 0.
very good, value 0. So this is saying, okay, now we have visited a key, we have visited the node 1 and its parent is 0.
Yes, sir.
Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now again we are calling DFS. Okay. We are calling DFS graph parent
Node
sequence. Now
Node
remember, what will this be?
1, sir.
1. Okay, very good. So now it is DFS. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's clear for others also, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now the same thing. Now we'll go back. Now remember I is 1. Sequence gets appended with 1. Then again, now we look at 1 and we look at all ones where 1 is connected is equal to 1. Okay. So let's say we start from 0. Okay. One graph of I is 1 comma 0 is 1. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Let me just take this. We take I as 0. Sorry, I is 1. Let's take J as 0, for example. So graph of 1 comma 0, 1 comma 0, 1 that's connected to 0. So it's true.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And can you tell me what is the right side of AND? Is it
This
true or
condition
false?
is not true. False, sir. Because 0 has a key present in the dictionary.
Yes. Others, have you understood?
Yes.
So in parents, we are checking if 0 is a key. Yes, it is there, right? But our condition is saying it shouldn't be a key, only then you should enter the if condition.
Yes, sir.
So then we won't enter.
Yes.
Okay. So in short, what are we looking? We are looking for all edges from 1 such that we have not visited it before. In short, that's what we are doing. That is the intuition behind the if condition.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So then we skip 1, 0. We look at 2.
Yes, sir.
Will it enter the if condition for 2?
2. Yes, sir.
Yes. Then parents of J equal to I. Parent of, now remember J is 2. Parent of J. So parent of J, we
2 and
assign
1.
in
Value
what,
1.
what will be the value?
1, sir.
1. Okay, very good. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now again, now we are calling. Now tell me what is the last parameter. What will this be when we call DFS now?
2.
2.
All right. Okay, now I'm going little fast. Now what will the next call to DFS be?
So 3.
3.
But before that, remember we have to append sequence to 2
And 3.
and J. Okay, parents of J. So J is actually 3, correct?
3.
Why?
Yes, sir. The key is 3 and the value is 2.
Key is 3 and value is 2. All right. Sequence 3. All right. Okay. Now we have come to 3. Okay. Now 3 we look at which all edges are 1. So there is 2, there is 0 and there is 2.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now both are actually visited already, right? Because 0 is also there, 2 is also there. Ah. So now what will happen?
So I'm coming out of loop, like
Yes, so I will come out of this for each loop, correct?
yes, sir.
And I will simply return parents and sequence. Okay,
sir.
remember this is my parents and this is my sequence.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in a way, this function, okay, will get this function call. Okay, or not only this function call, it will get terminated and
Okay.
it will return this to this function call.
Yes.
Okay, right,
True.
right.
Yes, sir.
But where did this function call end?
ಅಂಜಿಗೆ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
Okay, someone
ಆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ
remember this function call ended here. You can see my cursor.
Yes, sir.
Graph parent sequence 2, this function we had called here, right?
Yes, sir.
Now it will go to the for each and it will check for the next j.
Oh, okay. I mean, I have to check the other columns for node 2.
You have to check the other
Columns for node 2.
exactly.
Like, firstly, we are checking for only 3 and then stuck at 3 now. So,
So
5.
we were,
Okay.
so we were stuck at 3. We went for each and then we realized no,
Yes, sir, yes.
everything is visited.
Okay.
Now we return 3 DFS of that 3 returns this value to this function call. Okay, but and we when now for 2 we have to check for the remaining values of j.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So that is nothing but
5. Sir.
5 because 5 has not been visited, and then we
Okay, we insert 5 into 6.
Exactly, then we again call.
Sir, can you do that according to code? How it will return 5? Actually, I didn't get. I just did that with the graph.
Yeah. Okay. So remember we called. Yeah. What I'll do now. Okay, let me make it little more. Let me go from the start little more quickly. Okay, so what we did was we called DFS graph parent sequence 0. Then we went to for each j in columns of graph. Okay, so tell me for which all possibilities we will enter the if condition.
For 1.
For 1
and 3.
Okay,
1 and 3.
1 and 3. Okay, so I'm just putting in bracket. So remember we'll have to we will enter this if condition possibly for 1 and 3. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just putting j is equal to 1 and j is equal to 3. Okay, possibly we can enter for these two conditions, and we first look for j equal to 1 and then we realize that it is entering the if loop, if block. Then we called DFS for j equal to 1. Okay, now we went to j equal to 1 and then again we started checking for each
Column.
Yeah, for each column. So which all are possible? 0,
2 and 4. 0
and 4.
Okay.
2 and 4. 0 is a key.
Yeah, but
Repeated, no?
yeah, we have
Okay,
visited.
possible nodes.
Yeah, so but I'm just putting it there. Okay. But we realize that for 0 we have already visited, so it will this one. Yeah, okay, right. So I'll remove that. So then we looked at 2, then we called DFS with j2. Now which all are the possible values of j for 2?
3 and 5.
3 and 5.
3 and 5. J is equal to 3, 5. Then we called DFS with J equal to 3. Okay. Then we saw which all are the possible values for which it will enter this if block.
Nothing. Come on.
Nothing, right? Because 2 and 0 both have been visited.
Already visited.
So then it will come out of the loop. Okay. So then it will return parents and sequence. So it will return parents and sequence to whom? Now that is the important question.
To the previous one.
To the previous one. And remember, the previous one is this guy. Okay. And we just checked for J equal to 3. So J equal to 3 is returning this parents and sequence. Okay. Now we have to check for J equal to 5 also. Ravi, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So we are still in that for each loop, and where we have just checked for J equal to 3. J equal to 3 returned us this values. Now we have to check for J equal to 5. Understanding? Others also, have you understood?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we call that with J5 and we add this to this sequence, and then we update our parents with is correct, no? What I'm doing? Yeah.
Why
Okay.
it's got no connection?
Sorry?
Sir, it will be 5 to 2.
5 has got no connection.
5 to 2, sir? Or?
Yeah. Sorry.
So in the parents section, you have to insert 5.
2,
Yeah.
no? Yeah. Because my I is 2. Correct. Sorry. Okay. Then, yeah. And then we realize 5 has no, yeah. So 5 has no other neighbors, so it won't enter this and it will return whatever is my parents and sequence. So this is my parents and sequence. So this will return this to this guy. Okay. So this was for 5. So 5 is also done. Just strike it off. 5 is
You
also
forgot to insert 3 into the sequence after 2.
Sequence would have 3.
okay. Sorry. Okay. Now remember, twos, everything is done. Okay. And now we go back and now we realize, okay, we have done only for 2 in the for each loop. Now we need to check for 4, right? So then we call DFS this whole thing for 4, correct? All this for 4. Now we look at 4. 4 is it 4 is connected only to 1, but 1 is already there. So 4 also, it will finish that and it will return parents and sequence. So parents and sequence is this.
You have to enter
4.
4.
So 4 is also done. It will...
You have to enter 4 in the sequence, right?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
There's a 3 missing.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah. So, but you're understanding the intuition, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Actually, the graph part was last time itself you taught us, sir, but only how to relate to the pseudocode.
So
That-
see, when you create like this call tree, these are called call graph or call tree, like each step, where for what value it has been visited and what is remaining, then you'll get an idea. right? So now we see that 2 and 4 both are visited. Now it will return. And I think we did for 1, right? We are done for 1. We took the first entry, we did for 1. Now we are going to check j equal to 3. But then we realize that 3 is already there. So then that also, it will come outside the loop. It will return parent sequence, which is nothing but this. And then it will return this finally.
Yes.
Okay, is this clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right. So question 8 is done. So that it was.
So, sir, basically, there it will again go whenever the the suspended condition it will be visited again, and it will check there, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So remember where it was suspended, and for that j, it will then for the next value of j, it will check. That's what we did. Now we crossed multiple things and then we came up. Right?
Okay. Yes.
So this we with the graph itself we got the answer, but now we understood the pseudocode. But the next to it, they had asked a question, sir, regarding nodes. I think next to this question.
This one.
Yeah, what will be the value of nodes after executing the following pseudocode?
Yeah. So if you remember, key why the answer is cannot be determined. So okay, what is doing? So we got this P and S, right? Okay. Now what they're saying, nodes is nothing but keys of P, right? So what is P? This parents, right? And the nodes are, so what are the nodes? The keys of this, which is nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3, 5. Correct.
Yes,
So
we have the nodes, no? Then why they say it cannot be determined?
Yeah, but the value of these nodes, no, we cannot determine. Why? I'll tell you. Can anyone tell the reason why? Why the answer is cannot be determined?
Because you are going to have the nodes whichever node you start, you will have all the nodes in your list.
Sequence may be different now because they are going for the DFS from 5.
Sequence may be different, but is you are having, that is why it is saying it cannot be determined.
I don't know when you Professor Madhavan.
No, they have given here that P of 5 equals -1. So instead of starting from 0, are we starting from 5, sir?
Yes. Because the first call to DFS is 5, right?
Okay.
So we have to start from 5 and then do the DFS traversal.
Okay. So I thought we can get 5, 2, 1, 0, 3, and 4.
Is it because 1 cannot be parent of 5?
5, 2, 1, 0, 3, 4. Okay.
0, 4 and
0, 5, 2,
1, 0, 4 and then 3. Because 1, 2 we go to 4 now first. Then we will.
So 5, 2, 1, 0, 3, 4. Right?
Okay. Yes. Okay. We are connected.
5, 2, 1, 0. From 0, you'll go to the next neighbor, which is not visited, which is 3.
Then 3 and then 4. Okay.
Sir, this could be also 5, 2, 3, 0, 1, 4.
It can be, but what we have done is, we have, so for example, from 5 to 2, from 2, there are 2 possibilities, 1 and 3, correct? So we usually go to the node which has a lesser number. Okay,
sir.
That's the convention we have followed. There's no rule like that. What you said is also correct. Like you can go to 3 also. That is possible.
But sir, is it because of that reason they are saying cannot be determined? because it can take also either 3 or 1. Is it because of that?
No, I think why this is there is, if you remember when Professor Madhavan was explaining dictionaries, okay, what does key? Yeah.
So I think it is unordered. It you cannot predict its order.
Exactly. Very good. So the thing is, this keys is a function, right, which gives us the keys, okay, but it does not specify in which order we will get the keys.
Right, sir.
Okay, so sometimes it can give 5 in some order, sometimes it can give in some other order. That's the reason why the answer is cannot be determined.
Okay.
That's all. That's yeah.
Oh, it's just the instruction of keys.
Sorry?
It's just the keys instruction. The meaning, whether how the understanding is taking that part, right?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Sir, is that that key, is that defined in programming or?
Yeah. So in in most languages it is. In Python there is a function which returns the list of keys. But that's the thing. If you execute it once, it will give some list. When you execute it the other time, it will give some other list. So that's the reason why this keys function, no, it doesn't return the list in the same order always.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's move on to question 8. Done. Question 9 also we looked or no? Question 9.
Yes, sir.
Okay, shall we move to week 10? Because we haven't looked at
Yes, sir. Week 10, we would like to at least know what is the overview about it, what we are going to learn. I listened to the 3-4 lectures.
Okay.
Understood the lectures separately, but how we are going to apply, I couldn't understand. Sir.
Okay. Yeah, problems we will look tomorrow. There's a solve with instructor session. I'll just address these doubts. Okay. So someone had asked AQ 10.2.
Yes, sir. It was me.
Okay, Anu. Okay.
So before that, sir, for quiz 3, till which week we have to prepare?
7, 8, 9.
But for the term end, it will be till all the 12.
All the 12 weeks. All the 12.
12 weeks, right?
Yes, all the 12 weeks. Yeah. Okay, AQ 10.2. Point 2, question 2. Okay, so yeah, so you went through the lecture, no, Anu?
Yes, sir.
Question 2 only, no? Sorry, I didn't check. No, sorry, last question. No? Okay, this one, 6th question.
Yes, sir. Actually, what I thought, like in the class, every object was from the train only. It cannot be incorporated. Stations cannot be incorporated in the train class. So through this, I thought it should be like true. Every object should be identical, but it was false actually.
Yeah, so remember, okay, let's. Week 10. Yeah, so in the class, so in the lecture, what sir said is that there is a so you have encountered these trains and stations, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the question is all the objects created by a class are identical. Okay, so this need not be true. The reason being, So what was your doubt?
Sir, I thought like in a class, if a class is containing objects like from the trains data set, and if there is a class which contains data from stations data set, so if I'm considering a class of train, then it will contain all the data which have only trains data only. It will not contain the stations data. So through this, I thought that all train data are like similar now. Every train data has train number and station, arrival, departure, distance, day. So I thought through this understanding, I found like all the objects created by a class are identical. It should be true. So,
Yeah. So
but
I think what you
it was
said is correct.
false.
What you
Yeah.
said is correct. Their
Okay.
structure is similar. Like what you said, each of the trains has a train number. There is days of the week in which it runs, right?
Mhm.
All of these are there, but by identical we mean that. So for all, by identical we mean they are exactly identical. So for
Means all
example,
the values should also be the same.
correct.
Okay. Okay.
That
I
need
thought
not be
like it should not be like I found like if it should be false only when train class is also containing stations data, then it will be like it's not identical. So considering that understanding, I mark that as true.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that I understand. Yeah, but I understood your this thing. Yeah. So
It means values should not be same, but
yes.
the objects can be different.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. I wanted to clear that only.
Okay, good.
Sir,
Thank you,
could you
sir.
explain this again? Like it's not that clear. With an example, can you do this?
Yeah. So for example,
In the lecture, they were telling the train number. Suppose there is a class of train with the number, suppose 20112. That is a class. 20112 is a class. But on Wednesday it can be generated. On Thursday it can be generated. There are two objects generated. Correct?
Yes.
Two trains. So each train is an object. Wednesday train is an object and Thursday train is an object.
Very good.
Why are they not identical?
Yeah, the reason being, so this train 20112, it is a class. According to the lecture, this is a class.
Correct.
Okay? And this will create two objects. Say, let's say object A, which is the train 20112, which runs on Wednesday.
Correct.
And let's say object B, which this train runs on Thursday, right? So from this itself, you realize that there are the day of the week itself is different, right?
Day of the week is different, correct? But identical, right? We can't say it is identical.
We can't say it is identical, right?
I see. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. So the structure of the objects will be same. You will see in the, okay, you can see in I think
it is not the same train. We can understand, but
yeah. So
why
if you
it is
see,
not identical?
so for example, I don't know if some of you have seen this code. So this is a class called class topper, right? It has some t-value, mark list, all of that, right? These values, so class topper can create, let's say, two objects. The t-value and mark list can change for both, right?
Yeah.
It need not be the same. So class topper for physics might be different from the class topper of, say, chemistry or something. Okay, for example, I don't think in this code it means that. So objects created by the classes, their values can change, yes, but the structure is the same.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Anu, your doubt is cleared, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, someone had a doubt in this 10.7 question 1. Someone had a doubt in
Yes, sir. It's me,
Sandeep.
sir.
Sandeep,
Yes, sir.
10.7 question 1. Ah, okay. Yeah, what is your doubt?
I'm not understanding whole thing that what is going on.
Okay, you've gone through the lectures, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. So, yeah. So what is it saying? Consider an object X. Okay. So we know there's an object and a procedure. So this is an object and this is and y, there's a procedure y is comma where a and b are integers. Identify the correct way to call the procedure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's think about some yeah, let's think about a class. No. Okay, give me some interesting real life situation where we can encounter classes and all, for example, something.
Class has a circle and the radius, different radiuses.
Okay, classes.
Circle.
Okay.
And radius, different radiuses like 5 centimeter or 10 centimeter.
Okay, very good. So this is a good example. So sorry, who is this?
Asad, sir.
Asad. Okay. Asad is saying we can create a class called circle, and inside that there is something class. What are the properties of a circle? The most common thing is a radius, right?
Yeah.
So the radius here becomes something known as a data member. Data member or data variable, okay, whatever that is. And what are some things which we can do with radius or with circles?
We can find the perimeter or circumference or the area.
Okay, perimeter, area. Okay, these are some things which we can do, right? So essentially a class has these two components. One is this data members, or the properties of that class. The other are some operations, some procedures, some functions which you can perform in that class. Okay, so yeah, so we have something called the radius, and these are say procedures of this class. Okay. Now, what we can do is we can create objects of the circle class. Okay. So I can say circle, which is a class, and I create an object called X. Okay. Now, as we said, now this becomes an object. So this is like the class definition where we say, okay, this is how we define a class. But this is just like a template, for example. So if you all want to create some documents or something, right? You have a template which is ready, but a template by itself is meaningless, right? You need to populate it. You need to instantiate it for a particular situation, for example. So in this case, this by itself is of no value. Now I want to create multiple circles. So I will say create a circle X, okay? And I want its radius to be 5. Okay. So I'm not going into the details of the code, but a way to access the data members and the procedures in a class is to use this dot operator. Okay. So when I say x dot radius equal to 5, what am I saying? I'm saying what I'm saying is, okay, so this, it creates an object, right? X, right? And sets its radius to 5. Okay. Now I can call another object, let's say circle Y, and set its radius to, let's say, 10. Okay, let's call this as another circle Y and set its radius to 10, right? So now what have we done? We have used this dot symbol to access data members of the circle, right? Now, if I want to calculate the area of circle X, I can do that by calling X dot area. Remember, it's a procedure, so I have to write it like this. Okay, so how will it calculate the area? We have to define it in the class itself. Okay, that is explained in the lectures. You can look at that. So I'm just talking about how you can access procedures and data members in the class for different objects. Sandeep, this much is understood? Sandeep had asked, no?
Not clear. Very well.
Okay, what is not clear? So if we see in this, yeah.
Here to in procedure Y A B. What is your A B?
A comma B, right?
Yes.
So in this case also we see we have two procedures, perimeter and area. So perimeter, it will actually take, so okay, I'll just write it. So so what is perimeter? Perimeter is nothing but it will return 2 pi r. Formula is correct, right?
Yeah.
And yes. Okay. Area is pi r square, right? Whatever. So when I call x dot area in this case, it will call this. So remember this object, it creates a radius and it has its own area and perimeter functions. Okay, because it is taking all of this from the class. It has copies of these, for each object has these member functions available to them, right? So when I say x dot area, it will take r, or sorry, which is r is take the radius for that particular object. So in this case it is 5, right? And then it will calculate.
Yeah.
So in case now, for example, if I had some parameter like okay, now if I have some another procedure called y, which takes two parameters a comma b, and I'm doing some computation, some random computation with that, saying return radius into A into B, for example. Now, how will I call this y function for object X? Any answers?
Sir, repeat the question. I didn't get you, sir.
Yeah. Now I've created an object X, right? Now I want to call this function Y.
X dot y.
X dot Y.
You have to pass A and B.
So I'll pass a 10, 20.
So where is this object defined in class X? Sorry, class circle.
This.
Okay.
Okay, my syntax and all is not correct. Please refer to the lectures, but I'm just trying to give the intuitive idea of, a class contains these data members or variables and procedures. Each object which you create for that class has a set of these data members and procedures available to. Okay. So now if I want to access any of these data members or procedures, I can use the dot operator and call the procedure directly. So that is what this question is. We have an object X, let's say like this, and that object has a procedure Y, which is A comma B. Now, how should I call that procedure? I have to use the dot operator and I can pass some. So it takes two parameters, A comma B. I can take that as any value. Like in this case, they have taken it as 1, 2. Sandeep?
Yes, sir.
You're getting it? Not clear?
Yes, sir. I will repeat, sir, after.
Yeah, I think you go through the lectures once again, especially the last lecture of the week. I think you will get.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, someone had this doubt about public, private.
Sir, it's me.
Who's this? Ravikant, no?
Yeah.
Okay. Public, private. Is there any question which talks about
Sir, if you take the practice assignment question, it will be easy to understand.
This is there, no?
Yes.
Okay. This is not there in one. Okay, so this is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is your specific doubt?
Sir, I just want to understand this class topper. Suppose here private fields are there, private procedures are there. It is not accessible by the public.
By the public, by that, what do you mean by public means? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. What do you mean by public?
Means you can't modify the value of T or marks list. At the same time, so there is another procedure which add the marks, which is updating the marks list. So it is accessible. So how come that become the private?
Okay, got it. I got your doubt. Okay, so yeah. So let's try to understand what this is doing. Huh? So this is a class. Its name is class topper. Okay. So class topper is a class. Okay. You see some private fields, private procedures, public procedures. All right. So we see three things. Okay. There are something called private fields, private procedures, and public procedures. Okay. So whatever, so the rule is this, okay, whatever is public, okay, it can be accessed by anyone, okay, okay, anything or anyone, okay, I'm just calling it anyone outside the class. Whatever is private can be accessed only by members of that class. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever is public, anyone can access it. Okay. But whatever is private, it's not that no one can access it. It can be accessed only by members of that class.
Okay. So what I understand that if you want to access the marks, which is the private procedure, first of all, you have to add that marks into the marks list. Then and then you can access it, the procedure to get the top mark.
Okay, so let's do one thing. No, let's create an object class topper. Let's call it T. Huh? Okay. As soon as you create this, what happens is it creates a box like thing, and in that box, okay, this is say the T object T. Okay. It will contain a copy of all of this. Okay. T value. Okay. See what are the private fields? T value, mark list. Okay. So these are the private fields. Okay. It contains these private fields. Then it contains these private procedures. What are the private procedures? From this code, what can you say is the private procedure?
To find the top mark.
Good. Find top mark. Others also understood? Whatever is given in this find top, private procedure, whatever procedure is there, that's a private procedure. Okay. Which are the public procedures?
That is to add the marks to the marks list.
Okay, so when we look at this public procedure section, we see that how many functions are there? How many procedures are there?
It is first of all initializing.
One.
Then it's adding the marks.
Adding the marks.
Then the third there is to check whether the marks added is a topper or not.
Okay, okay. So I'm not going into the logic of all of these, but this is what we are understanding. Okay. Is topper mark. Okay, remember the rule what I said. Okay, now this has created this class topper T. Whatever is public, it can be accessed by anyone outside the class. Again, whatever is private can be accessed only by members of that class. So let's say it's not there in this code. Let's say there is another class called teacher. Let's say maths ka teacher is. So there is another class and we create an object called math. Object called math teacher. Okay. So remember how we can access how do we access fields and procedures? What did I say? How can we access certain things of a class, of an object?
By class dot then
Very good.
parameter.
Very good. So now I'm asking some questions. Okay. So remember, math teacher is an object of class teacher. Okay, not of class topper.
Okay.
So can math teacher okay, this is a question. Can math teacher access t value?
Not directly.
Others, what do you think?
No.
If she is also the class teacher, she would be able to.
Class teacher? No, I'm just talking specifically to this. There is an object, there's a class called class topper, right? And we create an object T, which is an object of class topper, okay, which has all these fields, these 2 private fields, 1 private procedure, 3 public procedures. Okay, now we have another class called teacher, and we have an object called math teacher, which is an object of teacher. Okay, so my question is, can math teacher access t value?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
But as creating the object, so it will have private fields and private procedure.
Okay, let me ask the question again. Can math teacher access t value directly?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Why not?
It can, sir. I think it's public and it can take.
Which is public?
Object that t value, t.
T value, is it public? Look carefully.
Private field.
Oh, object t, sir.
Yeah. So what does this say? This means that another object or any other function or anything else which is not an object of that class, it cannot access the private fields directly or the private procedures directly. So can math teacher call find top mark, for example, directly?
No, because it's a private procedure.
No, sir.
Yeah, it cannot, right? Because whatever is private can be accessed only by objects of that class. Okay, so now if I say, can I call t dot find top marks? Find top marks. Remember what is t? T is an object of class topper. Is this possible?
Yes, sir. We can call, sir.
Yes.
But it's private, right?
But we are accessing from the class.
Sorry?
We are accessing from the class, no, sir?
Exactly. T is nothing but an object of class topper. Since it's an object of its own class, it can access its private fields and private procedures. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Ravikant, you had this question, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, I think when you look at I think it's there in the graded assignment also, you will get some ideas. And tomorrow, solve with us also. I think you'll go through some of these things. So,
Sir, activity 10.3 second question, sir.
10.3. This one, no?
What I understood is X is the person who is created, and that is the access is consider the objects class teacher C, physics teacher P, chemistry CH, and mathematics M. If the 4 objects are created by a person X, then P can only be accessed using the object C.
Then P can only
C,
be, yeah.
Yeah, because she is and consider class teacher can access chemistry, no, sir. I mean physics. P can be accessed through C, no?
P can only be accessed using the object C. No, but if the 4 objects are created by a person X, no? Then
Oh,
X,
so only X can
yes.
access,
Correct.
and even C cannot access. Okay, sir. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I think we are out of time also. Hopefully, I've covered all your doubts. So this week we'll be having a solve with us tomorrow for week 10. And we are planning some revision sessions also for quiz 3. I think it's updated on your calendars.
When week 10 is not for the quiz 2, why don't we have the week 10 after the quiz 2?
Quiz 3, you mean?
Quiz 3, yeah.
Sorry, why don't we have?
Quiz 3 after the, week 10 submission after the quiz 3.
Okay. Those are operational issues.
Yeah, but
week 10, it's not very difficult. I think you can solve it.
Nevertheless, it is really a diversion, because tomorrow's discussion we can focus more on 7, 8, 9. That will be more helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have easy answers to those questions. Yeah, but the thing is, we are following a schedule, no? So it's difficult to break that. And
These computational thinking, sir, every week we come up with new codes and all that. So the best way is only to work out the problems again and again, or is there any other way where we can, get familiarized and do the codes?
yeah, Jayanti, only practice. That's the
Practice.
only way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Even
Thank
even next term in Python also, you will soon realize that, especially for programming, I think the more questions you can solve,
yes.
yeah, that's the best way you can learn. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
You never get a comfort feeling at all. We all the time
When you're trying to be comfortable, then the next week comes and we become unstable again.
Exactly. The more you get into the details, you are more confused. But, it's my personal problem. I don't know how others are feeling.
Yeah, but see, we all go through it, right? It's whenever in learning, these things are not easy. But yeah, I think over time you will see, definitely next term and all, when you start Python, you will realize, okay, this is why we learned all these concepts in CT.
Yes.
But does it require any special skills or practice will help, sir?
Practice, Jayanti, practice. You would,
Okay,
yeah,
sir.
no.
No, sometimes I feel so diffident. So
Yeah, I know. But we all will get there. We all start as novices only, but with practice, it will work out. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
So have a good night. Yeah, tomorrow is the Solve With Us session. So hopefully you will get some more practice on week 10.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Take care. Bye. Good night.
Thank you so much,
Good night.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Bye,
you.
sir.
Bye. Bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night. Good night.